Book 1, Law of Salimi, Chapter 33, about fishes and ponds. During the final semester studying at UiTM campus Mangatal, I had acquired the following result. On the semester 2nd of 2001-2002, on the sixth semester or final semester, I got Introduction to International Business A, Research Methodology B+, Human Resource Management A+, Operation Management A, Principle and Practice of Selling A. The GPA is 3.87 and my final CGPA, which I graduated with, is 3.82. Hours earned 15 for this semester, and total of 99 for the entire accumulated diploma program. During the final semester, I was still deciding on the possible degree program that I should pursue after graduating at UiTM campus Mangatal. With 3.82 CGPA, I had a good chance to pursue in any university in Malaysia, but I intended to continue studying at UiTM campus Mangatal campus Shah Alam, which was the main campus. During the class of Introduction to International Business, the lecturer was the dean, who possessed a strong aura which differs from the heavenly monsters. I was intrigued and curious with the lecturer's unique aura. After talking to him about his specialization, he advised that the field of international business was not for every student. He claimed that only students who are strong and determined could pursue the field of international business because it was considered to be a new knowledge relative to other fields of knowledge. Essentially, he advised students not to pursue this specialization because it would be very difficult and challenging path for anyone. Considering that I was unable to pursue the path of heavenly monsters, I started to be more inclined towards taking up the challenge of pursuing my degree program with international business at UiTM campus Shah Alam. I hate being told that I cannot do something because it was difficult, which possibly triggered my attitude towards pursuing the challenging and impossible. In addition, I was also applying for a scholarship offered by a private organization in Kuala Lumpur. During the flight to Kuala Lumpur from Kota Kinabalu, which took around 2.5 hours, I was unable to sleep thinking about the possible questions that I might face during the interview process. So I began asking possible questions that I could think of and start answering them throughout the whole flight. I had to repeat the same questions with various different answers. It was a visualization process that I had got done in my mind over and over again. I had numerous answers in my head which had been repeated many times. By doing so, it stuck in my mind and helped me to be absolutely calm if the same question were posed to me during the interview session. The next day, I arrived at the building of Damansara Heights, where the interview session took place. It seemed that I was competing against 150 students who were selected from 1,500 applicants. Considering the fierce competition, I aimed to do my best to differentiate my attitude in comparison to 1,500 students who had applied for the scholarship. During my interview session, I tried my best to remain calm and relaxed. I answered all the questions posed by the interviewers. For every answer, I managed to provide answers that were different from the standard format of answers. For example, when the interviewer asked me to talk about myself, I began to answer by stating my motto in life: anything that doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I also explained that I might not be similar to other ordinary students. I had cycled alone for the distance of 50 kilometers at the age of 16 years old weekly. The furthest distance was to cycle to Beaufort from Kota Kinabalu, which was 120 kilometers. I also had climbed Mount Kinabalu twice during my studies at UiTM campus Mangatal while retaining a good CGPA. I explained to them that I love challenges and overcoming hardship in my life. Then I end my answers with my name, which seemed to cause a weird reaction on the interviewers. In the final question, the interviewer asked me what would I do with the scholarship fund if I was selected to receive the scholarship. After hearing the question, I smiled for a few seconds, trying to make them ask me the reason behind me smiling. Next, the interviewers looked surprised for my reaction and asked why I smiling. I was happy that I managed to trigger their curiosity about me, which would mean that I had been successful at showing that I was unique from other applicants in their eyes. In addition, I was certain that it would cause them to remember me when deciding to grant the scholarship funding to successful applicants. I said, I'm happy to hear the question because I had been asking the same question to myself and had been preparing numerous answers for it, starting from the flight from Kota Kinabalu until the moment that I entered this room. The truth was, my answer for the question might be important. I felt that the most important task for me to achieve was to leave the interview session with a great impression to the mind of the interviewers. I assumed that it might be vital for them to remember me so that I could improve the chance of being selected for the scholarship. I added, if you look at me, I do not own expensive handphone. I do not purchase expensive and fashionable clothes. I do not waste any money doing things that most ordinary students would. If I had the scholarship funding, I would ensure that I had books that I needed in my study. I will buy food to ensure a good health throughout my studies. I am not interested with fashion and popularity, so I had been chosen as the scholarship. So if I had been chosen as the scholarship recipient, you can assure that it would be utilized for my studies and not wasted for other things. The interviewers seemed pleased with my answers, but did not notify me anything to indicate if I would be selected or not. Nonetheless, I was satisfied with the interview session, but was left slightly worried about the chance of being selected. After returning to UiTM campus Manggatal in Sabah, I was sure that I might not be selected. So my friends and lecturer asked me about it. I told them that I had strong feeling that I was not going to be selected. Everyone who heard my answer told me to be strong and accept the possibility that I might not be selected. Soon, I started to visit Heavenly Monsters as per usual to share knowledge and discuss about pursuing my studies for degree. When I entered the room of the accounting lecturer with the talent of removing anguish from anyone who saw his face, I started to feel eased. He asked me about my chance of being selected for the scholarship. I explained that I had felt that I might not be selected. He asked me the reason behind my assumption. I told him that the interviewers were not indicating a positive facial expression during my interview session. He requested me to explain in more details, so I told him everything. After hearing it, he smiled and said, "You'll get it, don't worry." I did not understand what made him believe so, but I trusted him. The feeling of anguish and dread in my heart began to dissolve. I was thankful and grateful for his advice and confidence upon me receiving the scholarship. I cannot explain the true reason for me to trust his words, but I do trust him. Without the negative feelings of being worried, I managed to stay focused with my studies at the campus. A couple of days later, the phone rang, and I was notified to return to Kuala Lumpur in order to receive the scholarship during the company ceremony. Being among the selected 15 scholarship recipients from 1,500 applicants was an amazing feeling. I do not know how the lecturer knew that I was going to be selected, but I was extremely elated about it. It might be possible that the lecturer had a special ability that I might not know about. After completing the final examination for the final semester at the campus, I had completed my studies at UiTM campus Manggata. Next, I was beginning to prepare pursuing my studies at UiTM campus Shah Alam. I finally decided to pursue the international business program for my degree. I should be able to continue my studies with the help of scholarship funding from the private organization at Kota Damansara. A great scholar told me that UiTM campus Mangatal at UiTM campus Mangatal, I was similar to a fish in a small pond, whereas UiTM campus Shah Alam is a bigger pond where much bigger fishes might compete with me. He advised that I should prepare myself to face more challenges and hardship to be successful in my studies at Shah Alam. Even though I did not manage to acquire a Dean's List award for every semester at UiTM campus Mangatal, I was awarded an academic award by the Dean of the university. It was a good reminder for me so that I should work harder during my degree studies. Nonetheless, my overall academic performance at UiTM campus Mangatal can be considered as among the best results for students at the campus. I was happy with my experience studying at the campus because I was able to learn enormous amount of knowledge during classes, especially from the discussion and sharing of knowledge with the heavenly monsters. I managed to learn knowledge to enhance my understanding about the teachings of Islam and practicing Islam as a way of life. I also developed numerous study methods which helped me and numerous other students to achieve good CGPA upon graduation. I was happy that I could help other students with their studies during my life at the campus. All in all, I felt that my choice to study at UiTM campus Mangatal was the right choice for me. I had met numerous great scholars and lecturers which I called the heavenly monsters, as well as meeting lecturers who sat as a bad example of educators to me. I will make sure that I will never do what they did to me as a student. I had many battles that I had won, I won, as well as numerous others that I had lost. Every single experience at UiTM campus Mangatal had served me as a good teacher to me, both good and bad experience. I had an excellent time studying at the campus and did not regret studying at UiTM campus Mangatal. In fact, I feel that I was destined to experience the life as a student at UiTM campus Mangatal because the experience had brought me much closer into becoming a good Muslim and good human being. Furthermore, the experience helped me to walk the path of a scholar and improve my passion for learning and knowledge. Moreover, I had discovered a new passion for teaching. The following are my diploma certificates and transcript. This is the one that indicates of my degree program, which I completed on the 10th of October 2002. This is the Malay version of the same diploma. And this is my entire academic transcript from my first semester until the 6th semester. So it shows that I graduated with this CGPA of 3.82. Okay, so I think this ends my chapter 32 and chapter 33, and hope to hear you again in the future, and also hope to see you in the next video of chapter 34. Thank you for listening.